Yeah! Hello, everyone. If you're joining us from Speed Gaming, welcome. You may have noticed I am a familiar voice. So let's get a look at what's happening in this race. ScootrMK versus Zinpars. Scooter is not played any matches in the tournament yet. Zinpars has one loss to some bro you don't know in an incredibly close race, only 14 seconds apart. What was the seeding like in this group, in Group E? ScootrMK is the top seed in this group. A 109.41 was the time that got him seeded 5th in this tournament. Zinpars the second seed though, the 116.55. So if anyone was going to take down Scooter, it would be Zinpars, but this is another uphill battle. For the players who were watching the previous race. I thought MK stood for Mario Kart. It could have stood for Mortal Kombat or Mr. Knievel. Mystery Knuckles. I don't know. Could have stood for anything, but it is Mario Kart, so Scooter's familiar with Mario in that capacity. Not that I think it carries over very much. Doing very well in Lost Kingdom here, opening up with a very tricky section. The left side palm tree route to skip the Klepto cutscene, wherein Klepto steals your hat. It sucks. Oh, not quite getting the dive onto the cap to get up to that moon on the tree, as Zinpars is, and oh man, really struggling with this tree here. Whereas Zinpars, very good first Bowser hit. Finally gets up to the tree. Scooter's probably not feeling too good about that one. And now that Klepto has been triggered, we don't have to worry about the cutscene anymore. Having a bit of trouble getting inside the pillar staircase for the moon. So hopefully Scooter's not too frustrated with some of these things. Oh, Zinpars got the hat and was way up there, but just jumped straight into Bowser, I think. Has to go ahead and track him down for that third and final hit. Scooter's got the moon under the bridge and is gonna get out. Nice. Returning to the Odyssey with a 25:05 on the timer, just as Zinpars gets into the Lost Kingdom. Important tricky section here at the beginning of Lost. Triple jump, cap dive onto the tree. Triple jump. Oh, that's a really low triple jump. Yeah, Zinpars realizes right away that's not going to work. Doesn't die, though. That one could be good. Yeah. And also cutting a lot off that jump around the wall. Some players will lean a little more to the right, make it a little more safe. Zinpars going in pretty hard there, actually. Ledge grab and no trouble with the butterfly as Scooter gets into Rainy Metro, Dark Metro, Night Metro. I haven't decided which one I like, and I don't think the community has either. Jumping right over the checkpoint flag. Movement looking really good. And Zinpars is looking really good in Lost as well. There was that scary moment with the jump from the palm tree and a bonk from Scooter. See now, remember that checkpoint flag that he didn't grab? Remember it? I'm telling you, man, he's all the way back to the Odyssey. It costs less than a second to grab those flags sometimes. Who knows? Who knows? Maybe it throws a runner off, mentally doing something they're not used to. Not being a runner myself, I don't think I have much say in criticizing another runner. But I have a lot of experience with these race formats. And I gotta say, some people neglect some of these safeties. Zinpars, after that one rough little bit at the start of Lost, has otherwise done fantastic. And judging by the way the timer just went red and then went green again, I think Zinpars is maybe only a second or two off of whatever time they're competing against. Could be a PB. Could be competing against an average time or something. Zinpars is having a bit of a scary moment or two up on the girders. Now Scooter gets into the Mecha Wiggler fight, placing these shots. 1, 2, had a couple there, but does get the last few. Zinpars is having a trouble on the side of the skyscraper here. But is going to be able to get up to the girder moon. Backflip's not quite working out there. There we go. As Scooter manipulates Mecha Wiggler, getting into the corners, making these trips across the battlefield as short as possible. Christos Owen vs. Ben was on Speed Gaming, the original, at 2 p.m. today. Since you're asking, it means you probably want the VOD, and that means I'm not going to spoil what happened, and no one else in chat should either. Second phase from Mecha Wiggler goes fantastic for Scooter. as Zinpars is into this tricky skyscraper section. Not that far behind. It was a really costly bet that Scooter took here in Rainy Metro. And just as Scooter leaves the fight, Zinpars enters it. It's a pretty long fight. This angle is not great, but Zinpars makes it work. As Scooter gets into the Metro City proper, throwing the hat out, going and getting the moon, and then warping into it from afar. Pretty tricky to make that happen. Does get it. See how the RC car goes. Ooh, not quite missing. They're not quite getting. This is like a 17-point turn here. Does get in there. That car's tricky, man. You can't just drive into the wall because it gets kind of shifted based off of how hard it goes into the wall. Last hit, please, Zinpars. Okay. Is going to be able to get that second phase on Mecha Wiggler as well. There is a clip that was found not too long ago, maybe within a week, where you get on the scooter and Mario leans so far to the side when he turns on the scooter that you can clip inside the cage and get the moon and skip the RC car. It is tricky in its own way compared to just driving the car, but it's, I heard, 6 to 7 seconds faster, which seems like more seconds than I would have thought, but I'll leave that to the guys in the lab who do the work. Scooter taking out the trash. I don't know who threw away a moon, but someone did. Zinpars threw that hat out. Was it placed? Well, it was. Able to zip on out. Scooter's heading up the skyscraper. Zinpars goes for the scooter and gets it first try. Oh man. Making it look so much easier than it is. The long distance capture on the thing to get flung up. Look out, Scooter. Look out, man. Zinpars is behind you and he came to play. But first he's gonna sit down on this bench and take a little break. Scooter bonks into the wall and just in front of the door. Really quick switch hit there. Able to get through the crowd. Going up top for one more. As Zinpars now heading to this way out here moon. Bonks on the side of the dumpster. But I think you need to wait for the moon animation to play out a little bit, so it's not all that costly. Scooter's going to be talking to Pauline. Doesn't have too much to say, but I think I know someone who does. Crescendo did win earlier. Played very well. Scooter just climbing the tree a little bit. Checking things out. Zinpars gets the cafe moon. Scooter grabs the one off the broken Mecha Wiggler, and then top. Yay! And we're off. Zinpars bonks, but lands on the trampoline, which cancels the bonk animation. And it's out of there. I should hop in the SRL room, track down where that is. Get the latest scoop. Not that I think the runners are going to be chatting too much. Zinpar is now finishing up with Metro. Not too much to it, and honestly, if you don't have the audio, it's really not quite the same, is it? Oh right, this race doesn't have an SRL room, I'm pretty sure, is what happened. That's why I'm having such trouble. Anyway, Scooter's off to Seaside. Coming here before snow, and Scooter is lacking in coins. Zinpar is not quite getting the cutscene, or the warp back to the checkpoint, opening the menu a little bit there. Zinpar is now officially done with Metro. Scooter gets straight to the moon. Trying to find this straight line. Gets there. And it was a little off with a last minute dive to try to correct himself, so that would have been cool. And I think it was aimed correctly, it just was a little short. But Scooter does get to that moon and gets that fish. Zinpars has enough coins and is going to be going to snow first. So we got ourselves a route divergence. After a little bit, it will become hard to tell who's ahead, but Scooter has enough of a lead that I anticipate Scooter to keep the lead through these two kingdoms. And who knows, maybe he's still thinking about that death in Metro. Gotta be able to shake that stuff off in a race. Zinpars has got the Captain Toad moon. Quick wall jump series here. Scooter's cleaning up with the Cheep Cheep. I guess I'm used to players not listening into the commentary while I do it. Now I'm going to be second guessing everything I say. But a very solid for Scooter. A solid Seaside for Scooter. Zinpars getting up to this railing here. He's gonna dig out a moon from the corner. And into this section here. This is a pretty tricky section to optimize. Not quite getting the cycle to be on that block when it moved. Little things like having to pull yourself up onto a ledge instead of landing on it cleanly. These are things that add up over time. Blowing off the spinies. Missed those last two on the edge there. There's probably a bit of randomness in where the spinies are and how they move. They seem to be all the way on the far left side there. Scooter talking to Captain Toad. Nice movement from Scooter in snow. Zinpars looking to collect the Goombas here. Jumping over that one and triggering the icicle. And oh, okay, wait, no, that was the hat. Sorry, the commentator viewer gets a little blurry sometimes. I thought a Goomba was going off the edge for a little bit, but it was just its hat. That's fine. You need to get rid of its hat to put your own on there and exert dominance. You need all 4 Goombas in order to trigger that switch. Scooter's done with the Shop Moon. He gets up to the railing very cleanly. Zinpars is just 1 moon left to go. Still a whole seaside, though. If you're just joining us, it may look like Zinpars is ahead. But despite playing rather well, Scooter is in the lead. Getting right up on top of that wall. And furthermore, getting right up on top of where the moon is. Blowing off all the spinies. I gotta say, I really don't like You Got a Moon as much as Moon Get. I feel like that's a real missed opportunity. What was that, Scooter? Is he playing with, like... Is he looking away or something? And just assumed it was gonna be fine? It was just a corridor, but he was wobbling left and right. He bonked into the wall. I feel like someone in his chat said something or something. I don't know. Anyway, Goomba's going fine for Scooter. Zinpars is into Seaside now. And that was interesting. Scooter's long jump sort of touching that icicle. I wonder if that moves you in such a way as to make it an advantage. One final moon in snow. Whereas Zinpars still has quite a few to go here in Seaside. We'll get an idea of just how much of a lead Scooter has. Really clean final section there from Scooter with a pair of long jumps to get to that moon. And we're back to the Odyssey. Zinpars gets the music notes. Does a really good job grabbing that cheap cheap. And we're off and swimming. Zinpars doesn't need the coins. But you do need to dip down if you want to grab that moon. Getting hit once there from the seaweed, I guess it is. The moon refills your health, but it takes time to watch the animation. Salt jump there for Scooter goes well at the start of luncheon. Bonk into the lava a little bit there for Scooter. Whereas Zinpars is just about to finish up Seaside. Nice movement from Scooter there, getting into the Spirit fight. Standing right next to him to jump off that hat as soon as possible. Oh, having a... I think the camera kind of betrayed Scooter a bit. It was kind of swinging around to the left. But overall, an incredibly minor time loss on an otherwise great fight from Scooter. Yeah, a little less than 2 minutes behind is Zinpars from Scooter. Good grab there from Scooter as Zinpars goes for the salt jump. Not going to be salty today. Well, going to be literally salty and not figuratively salty because he's covered in salt. Ooh, Scooter making sure to stay on that pillar to keep going. Movement here is a little different than I've seen across the fruit, but still looked very solid. Zinpars is heading into the Spirit fight now. Scooters got the golden turnip into the pot. The hottest of hot pots. Maybe not as hot as this pink bubblegum lava that he's about to dangerously traverse over. Gets it. Zinpars is done with Spirit. Scooter's heading for the Potaboo room. Having a bit of trouble getting up there. There's two options players typically opt for at this point. You've got the forks, and then you've got the Potaboo room. And Scooter just skipped the forks, so we're going to be seeing the Potaboo from him. A very controlled frying pan Goomba section there from Scooter. Most players just go nuts and break apart as much cheese as they could, but that often doesn't work very well, so I think I like Scooter's approach there. Not as fast as if you were throwing the pan from as far as possible and breaking it right away, but a heck of a lot more consistent. Zinpars has got the hot pot going. And Scooter's now into the Potaboo room. Pretty tricky section. doing very well. Gets up to that moon. Zinpars as well is doing some work as a Potoboo. Scooter does a great job getting the moon way out on a ledge. Bonk. Shakes it off, keeps going on his way up to the meat. And the bird just can't resist a jumping piece of meat. I might think twice about it. I was being honest. Joining me for commentary is going to be Zelnus. How are you doing?
Hey, I just got off a 10-hour workday, but hey, I see some spots. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm loving watching some Odyssey.
This is seriously the second best speedrun this channel has right now. You can decide which one's the second. Or the first.
The first, yeah.
Okay. So...
It's Quirk, by the way.
Oh, I actually haven't watched Quirk yet. I'm interested to watch it when I have a chance. It's always on so early. But it looks like we're a couple moons behind. Like at least the multi-moon, that little secret room.
Yeah. Scooter's got a really good time, is the top seed of this group. Zinpars is the second seed, but Scooter is so highly seeded that even the second seed is still quite a bit.
Yeah,
bad.
I mean that's gonna happen in this tournament with like how new the game is. Like the skill level across like the 120-ish runners is pretty varied.
Yeah, well, at the same time though, if you take a step back and look at like a wider scope, I was surprised when I was looking at the leaderboards how many people have a solid time in this game.
Right.
When you see a leaderboard of like 600 people or something, you expect it to be filled with people submitting their 4 or 5 hour runs, or that they did one of, then didn't know anything. But there's like 400 times on the leaderboard under a minute or an hour and a half. Right.
Yeah. No, this game, people love this game. I think it's also like the accessibility of the Switch. The Switch is probably the easiest console to capture, like ever. It's just like you can capture it without like any issue.
Zinpars finishing up lunch, and Scooter doing the first hit on the dragon in Ruined Kingdom.
This dragon is pretty simple for an endgame boss. Luckily, it gets made up for like the next boss.
That's right.
But there's a lot of speed that can be done. Like the damage boost strat's really interesting. Getting on the dragon and just like getting in prep while he's in a shock form. It's a really neat strategy that I never would have thought of on my own. So I'm glad that there are smarter people than me to figure this one out.
Yeah, there's a lot of people involved, more on the routing side and trick discovery side of things for this game that I'm not really too clued into, but I would love to shout out some names of some of the people who are working on that stuff.
I tried to contribute, but every time I like think I found something, it's like, no, this was last year. Like, there's too many of you.
Yep, I've always wanted. Well, I found something actually in Shantae for the Game Boy Color.
Nice.
I found a way to get through a door.
When is Shantae tournament mythical?
As soon as we put it together, I guess maybe if someone wants to work on a Shantae tournament, just let us know. Meanwhile, Scooter's gone to work on this dragon. He's taking him out. Damage boost strats were all pretty good. And Zinpars is just getting into the fight now. Taking that turn a bit wide.
I'm glad that you can't just easily die just before this boss. The Cloud Kingdom death is possibly the saddest in the entire run.
I mean, hitting those hats, you can screw that up. It's not free.
Okay, and the Odyssey is restored for Scooter, going to the second to last kingdom. Probably the coolest kingdom, both casually and speedrun wise.
Yeah, I really like what they did with Bowser. Like they didn't do the typical castle theme. They gave it this sort of
Shogun like esque. Yeah, it's really neat.
Well, is it Japanese or Chinese? I'm not sure.
It's Edo era Japan.
Okay.
Is what it's called. Which is the samurai kind of like feudal samurai feudal era of Japan. There's just so many ways to do this world. Plus, it's got the coolest capture, the Potaboo, which Pokio. Sorry, yes, Pokio. The Pokio, which is like, in my opinion, the funnest one to play as. I'm glad that. I think it just has the coolest movement tech. Yeah, that corner cut is a really good strat too. I think also another thing that this game is like everyone. It's hard to pinpoint who's routed out this game because nobody's really just routed out a kingdom. It's more of a group and community effort. Like, I think that like, and every once in a while somebody will find something and be like, oh, that's a good alternative, and it's like, well, you can do that. It's like there's so many ways to beat this game like fast. Obviously, we're starting to get to where there's an optimal route, but you can still do like a sub 112 probably with just pretty much any thought out route.
Yeah. Yeah, and those variations also can come into play in a tournament like this, where some of them are safer than others.
Right, yeah, there's a lot of shots that maybe aren't so great when you're going for that 106, 107. Oh!
Yep.
Abandons the jump there.
And then doesn't recover very well either.
Yeah, he kind of like realized he didn't have the jumps for it, and backed out, but then ended up getting hit by the worst enemy in the game. The spikes. Sorry, wow, my brain is not working. But yeah, they don't have a they are a hat, so.
Oh, is gonna go ahead and grab the hole in the wall. Moon.
Yeah, there's a new move. There's a new moon that you can get now. You like use a. It's like similar to the Metro Kingdom, like capture teleport trick. You grab a moon right after the first Pokio, and it is a little bit faster than grabbing this moon. But sometimes you accidentally drop the Pokio, so you have to just abandon that shot anyway. It's right here. You'll see it. Maybe we'll see it on Zinpars' side. When you grab this Pokio, an alternate strat is you leave the Pokio up there, you grab a moon that's underneath there while holding your hat, and then you shake once you get the moon, and you capture the Pokio and teleport back up. It's a little bit faster, but it can be straight up. Oh, abandons the shortcut. Yeah, and that's another thing is the movement's so tight in this game that if you make a mistake, you can actually usually fix it.
Yeah, we saw Zinpars go for the palm tree jump in Lost Kingdom, and was way too low, and actually was able to be like, nope, and just come back.
Yeah, that's what happens when Nintendo meets a platformer. As it turns out, we just get really tight controls.
Scooter's gonna be into this hopper fight here.
This fight can go places if you screw it up. It's not hard once you learn the strategy, but if you screw it up once, like the recovery for this fight is probably the worst.
Yeah, once all those hats are going, it's a mess. I think on the second and third hit, when there's the hats all packed in super tight,
right? I
think it's pretty hard to get that hat.
Oh, I thought he fell down there, but it was just a weird camera thing. Zinpars, I mean. And then
yeah, I've seen his camera in a couple different places than I'm used to seeing from some of the other matches.
Might be his control scheme? I'm not sure. Maybe he's using a weird control scheme.
Harriet fight, like you said, going well for Scooter so far.
Probably the easiest boss fight to do, although there are ways that you can save seconds, but they're super risky and cause you to lose a lot of time. Very clean section on Zinpars, actually. That was actually one of the cleanest and fastest I've seen somebody grab this whole moon, as well as the other Shard Moon. So that was really good. So interesting small thing is that to beat this stage, you actually need 2 additional moons from the stage. So they did that before the final courtyard, but it is something that the game doesn't show you, unlike every other kingdom, which shows you your required moons. This kingdom does not. It just kind of expects you to explore and find some other moons.
Triple jump up to the wall.
And then lots of complicated jumps, lots of wall jumps, hat jumps, a few ground pounds. Grabbing this Potio here, because we're going to do a long Potio section. But yeah, this entire section is probably the part that makes the kingdom speedrun-wise, is the final courtyard.
Nailing this first set of jumps, going way off to the left.
Ooh, it recovers from not landing exactly right with the white parts, so you can only hook onto the white parts as a Potio.
And Zinpars is into the Harriet fight. Is jumping up there pretty early to hit those bombs. That's one way you can make this a little faster.
But it does run in the risk. And decent climb. Yes, that. Oh, aye.
It's gonna have to try that one again.
Yeah, so the intended fight is to grab a Potio, and then knock the bombs into his legs, and then you can from there recover. Oh, hits a Potio with a bomb.
Knocks the bomb into the other Potio. Yeah, this is one of the roughest starts to the Mecha Brutal fight I've seen.
Yeah, if you know how to stay on the Brutal, you can just go straight into the vanilla way to do this. He's opting to just do the fight normally, though. Oh, interesting. Grabbing it on the way up. I like that.
Yeah, hitching a ride.
That was unique. I think he might be too low. No, gets up there. So every time you get knocked back, he basically screeches at you the first time you try to land on him and knocks you back, but it does reset your cap bounces. And he seems to be stuck in an interesting... He did 2 of his charges directly into the wall. So that does save time. And no, looks like he's gonna fall. Now, every phase after this, he does, when he stops, opens up his vents, and you can actually climb them up, which is a faster way to do this fight.
Has the Pokio now.
Yeah, and you can now just climb up here. The machine does have a time limit. It will throw you off eventually when you're on top of it. It does not want you up there. So it has a bunch of things to stop that. That was actually super risky. If the robot started moving while he was doing the ground pound, he would have missed it. So
you'd think after the shaky start that Scooter had, he would have been a little more hesitant, but no, going for even stuff like that.
Yeah, that was a very interesting fight. Not the cleanest, but you don't have to be clean to win a race. You just have to get it.
Fair enough. Zinpars is going a little bit safe there, making sure not to be out over the edge too much to cut that corner. A little slower. He's got the Pokio now. He's climbing up really well.
He knows he's ahead and feels comfortable with the rest. He was ahead the full courtyard, so the full courtyard and 3 phases of the fight. So you can take that risk, and if it pays off, then now he's a full boss fight and cutscene ahead. Going into the final kingdom, the Moon Kingdom, which has the biggest skip in the game. It's probably the only, what you could even call a sequence break. Which is the moon skip.
Zinpars gets birdless on the Mecha Brutal. Actually bonked, but landed on top of the leg. A couple of fortuitous bonks I've seen from Zinpars.
Well, one of the strategies I've seen is you actually intentionally bonk on Mecha Brutal, and it will usually land you on the leg. But
that must have been it.
Yeah, Stoot tried that, but then when he did his ground pound jump, he misaligned it with the leg and fell off. This is probably the hardest part of the game, is this Mecha Brutal fight. So seeing people make mistakes is very common. Even the best runners will just have runs end here. And that was a very fast, yeah. He really cut like a lot of the gap between him and Scooter.
Making Scooter sweat a little bit. There's a moon skip coming up, and if you're worried about dropping a game to a lower seeded opponent who's hot on your heels, that might throw you off a little bit.
Mm-hmm. See if he goes for the double flower here. Yep. This saves a little bit of time because you keep the P flower for longer, and you basically get right here. Oh.
All right, here we go.
So
looking for these 2 places on the wall. That's 1.
That's 2. And
easy.
There we go. I've seen people bot there. I wasn't gonna say easy until he was until he was rolling.
Until he's on the red carpet. Yeah.
Very good fight. Now there's still lots of time to be lost. The final run must be done in 1 shot. It's not particularly long, but we have seen runs die at the very, very, very end, and runners lose a run to it. So
there's this is the 2D skip if Scooter decides to go for it.
And that's phase 1 now. So Bowser essentially is just a continuation of the first fight. He basically does a harder version of like whatever the last fight was. So Bowser 3 starts at the same difficulty as you end Bowser 2. We don't get to see Bowser 3 in this run, but... Oh, what? Okay.
Hat, please. Yep. Hat was on top of the ledge and his got caught on the bottom of it, but he does recover here.
Very nice.
Two hits as Zinpars touches down on the moon.
It's crazy. They are Scooter and them are still just 1 mistake in the late part of the final run.
Scooter going for the damage boost strat here to grab the hat super early. Gets it.
Don't want to screw up. If you get hit by the tail, then you lose the hat. So, and there he goes. He gets it. And oh no, Zinpars fails the first time. Gets the cap jump. Gets the first jump. Gets the second jump. Up and easy. That skip was way harder when it first got discovered.
People were like, "No, there's like a spot, just a spot on the wall." I'm like, what do you mean? Like, well, I don't know. Here's a blurry screenshot.
I'm pretty sure it involved like spin jumps initially, which because people didn't realize that you could hat jump so like cleanly near a wall.
Scooter into the final section here. Triple jumps up.
Yeah, that triple jump is a huge time save in the section. It's like I did 10 seconds. There's a lot of time saves because of how slow Bowser's movement is.
Right.
Getting the correct movement in this section is a huge time save. Oh,
a death. Okay, well this is not too far into this escape sequence, but it is still a significant setback.
I think he was going for 2Ds. Yeah, no. Or did you break the other one?
Yeah, he bonked his head on the block above.
He's triple jumping in anger. Oh man.
I mean, he could have broken that block.
Yeah. Before
going for the jump, but he left it. Okay, no triple jump. Gonna have to go the long way around.
I've seen runners kind of like die in 2D section and have a few issues afterwards. It's very tilted experience.
Oh, Zinpars, is that hat gonna collect it? It is.
Oh, I think he's on the last phase. Just don't get hit, and you still have a chance.
Scooter's into the 2D section again, not going for the jump. This is the smart play.
Yeah, playing it safe. There is still a chance to die even after 2D section. The final section of the game, I've seen people fall because they were they ended up not aligning themselves properly with falling platforms.
Zinpars on the final hit of Bowser as Scooters into the final section of the game.
Probably the most unexpected thing.
Zinpars gets this Bowser fight. Had a bit of trouble with it. Could have made this a little more interesting, I think.
Oh, it's hit by the fallen pillar, interestingly enough. So yeah, the strategy here is to shoot some fireballs at the right side platform, and then you like go to the left side, and then as you're walking to the end, you shoot the last few fireballs at the pillar that you were firing at earlier, and that should.
Yep. No, needs one more. Okay, does get it very quickly.
Oh no!
Oh my goodness,
This sets you back to the start of the entire escape sequence.
Zinpars is in the lead.
I was just saying that. This is exactly what I saw. A runner died in the 2D section and then died at the very end because they were on a fallen part. That's
oh my god! He had to turn to get that last fireball hit, so his camera wasn't looking at where the platforms were going to be. The camera turned. There was no ground there, and he's fallen.
That is a risk that you take by doing the speed strat. Is the platforms drop? There are some platforms that drop as soon as you kill the last pillar, so you have absolutely no time to recover from it.
Scooter maybe knows of this situation, kind of paused there at the 2D skip, but had no opportunity. The block was already broken.
Okay, well, we know that you can die in this final section, so Zinpars just has to not.
Zinpars throwing a couple fireballs out there. Don't know if they were quite on the mark.
The other part is there's random falling blocks in this section, and they will block fireballs, so you're never 100% sure if your fireballs have reached the pillar.
This is the kind of situation where even if you're not really following the race, listening to the commentators or just where your opponent is, you haven't seen it not done yet.
Right.
So you know.
Oh!
Is it good?
He's on, yes!
Oh my goodness.
What an ups! Oh my gosh.
Ladies and gentlemen, and everyone, Zinpars. Oh, there is no SRL race. Okay, wait, let me... Yep, I see it. We don't have an official SRL time. They're not racing on SRL, but it's a 1:12:48. The dot done has come in before Scooter is official. Zinpars has pulled off the upset. Oh, Scooter's trying to get this last hit. Hasn't gotta be feeling not great about that one.
Wow. What a race to jump into. Whew. Huge GG to both runners. Super Mario Odyssey, everyone.
I mean, even the ending aside, Scooter had a fall in Metro.
Okay.
Where didn't get the checkpoint flag. It was all the way back to the Odyssey. But man, it was that ending. It was that last section. Just got away from him a little bit.
Wow.
We'll see if they want to talk about what just happened. Maybe they want some time to calm down. This was the
oh, we have Zinpars.
5th seed versus the 60th seed in this tournament.
Congratulations, Zinpars.
Hello. Thanks.
Seriously good match.
Yeah, it was a nice run. And
Were you
really
keeping
close,
track
as I see.
of where your opponent was?
No, I didn't. I had no idea.
Wow.
So I was actually surprised when someone during Escape came to my chat and told me that I'm gonna win. I was like, oh my god, really?
Oh, so you knew at the very end. Okay.
So he fell. He didn't do 2D skip, but he didn't break one of the blots and bonked on it. So he bonked, fell down, and then he was still at the end before you were done. Like that death happened when you like did your second hit on Bowser. Then when he got to the Honeyloom Ridge like finale, he dropped because he missed a fireball. Had to turn around, shoot a fireball. His camera was misaligned and dropped.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's
because he was on it. Because he was on one of the fall-in platforms that instantly fall, like disappear when you hit the final one. So we thought that was about to happen to you.
Oh,
but,
that's.
yeah, you can see, and you'll see it if you watch the VOD at the very end. He sits on the final platform, waiting to and shoots the fireballs. So playing it very safe at the end.
Yeah.
No, you did really good from what I saw. I wasn't in the whole thing.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, the run went really well. It was like a 1 minute PB.
Wow, fantastic.
Wow. Good job.
I wasn't sure because the PBs for people are coming in fast and hot every day. Not everyone uploads it every time they get it, so I wasn't sure. But
yeah, I haven't uploaded to. I had another PB today, but I thought I'd wait until after the tournament because I might PB again.
Yeah, well now you got a nice commentated VOD right there to link to.
That's great.
Congratulations.
Yeah, no. Okay. We're gonna see if Studer is gonna be able to come in. For now, he is. He's restarting his his mic. Yeah, no, that was really good, man. Congratulations on the PB.
Thanks.
You know, 112XX is like kind of considered like, hey, good job, dude. You've been doing good.
Yeah.
I'd say. Actually, let's see it. I'm curious to see what the leaderboard is because it used to be that 115 was kind of like the stopping point for everyone, but I wouldn't be surprised if that went up again.
48. That's 80th place.
80th?
Yeah.
Dang, out of 794 people, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
And even if you take out like you take out all of the 2 hour or more runs, there's still that's 729 people with a sub 2 hours.
Yeah, we're really big.
Insane.
I'm looking at the times that people got seeded. This would have put you as 23rd seed if you had this a week or 2 weeks ago.
Oh, okay.
The rate of improvement, that
that
everyone's had since the start of the tournament means that this kind of thing can happen. People who were seeded with much slower times are capable of much better times now.
Yeah.
No, I mean,
I also started doing any percent seriously again starting December.
Well,
So,
I would too if I was in the tournament.
Yeah. I wanted to earlier, but I think I did low capture and glitch hunting a lot, so didn't have much time for that.
Well, that's good stuff that you're doing. But I'm glad that you've got the chance to practice and really get going on any percent here. So your group situation now is looking weird because you've already lost once to some bro you don't know, but now you've just won against the top seed. So there's probably going to be a tie-break situation.
Yeah, I guess. Well, if I win the last match against the bottom seed of the tournament, then I'll have 2 wins.
And it'll be up to Scooter and Sumbro. Or maybe Jules pulls off some upsets. Who knows anymore?
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe
he has practiced a lot in the meantime.
Yeah. So it'll be exciting to see how Group E shakes out. Unfortunately, we're not going to get Scooter in to interview. Just some mic issues. You know how it is. But congratulations. fantastic race, and best of luck in the tournament.
Thanks. And thank you for the commentary.
Of course, I'm glad I could jump in on what turned into a... Oh, I jumped in, it was very close. Turned into an extremely exciting race.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch the VOD.
Yes.
Really want to see this.
Yeah, the end was insane. You had... Also, your Mecha Brutal fight was clean compared to Scooter.
Okay.
Really clean.
Yeah, I practiced that fight a lot.
It showed. It really did. So, congratulations. I think there's another race going on.
There are so many races. There is a race literally happening right now.
Yeah, that's what I was meaning. Speed Gaming 3.
Yep.
If you're into other games like Super Mario 64, I'm sure there's a match of that coming on soon. There's a match of everything.
I think our only Mario 64 match has already happened. Odyssey happening on 3 right now, coming up later tonight as well. Go ahead and check the schedule.
Yeah.
For more
schedule
information.
has everything, including games you probably haven't heard of. Possibly.
Like Quirk.
Yes, like Quirk. I need to watch Quirk now. If Mythical says it's good, it's probably good.
I may have been a little facetious on that one, just a little. You'll have to decide for yourself, like some of our other viewers, deciding what they're gonna watch, because there's lots to see on Speed Gaming.
Right now, there's like 3 tournaments starting like now, or started a half an hour ago. Good luck to everyone finding what you want to watch.
Yeah, Zelda 2 All Keys just about to get started on twitch.tv/speedgaming2.
Mega Man 1 in a few hours, Mega Man X in a few hours. Oh my goodness.
So we're gonna take off, and we hope you guys have a fantastic day.